Hello. In April 1993, a certain Ronnie O'Sullivan produced a solid debut at the Crucible, going down 10-7 to Alan McManus. But fast forward to the end of that year and he'd become the youngest ranking champion in snooker history, taking the UK title at the age of 17. We had to wait 8 years to see his maiden world crown. That came in 2001, beating John Higgins, another graduate of the class of '92. Further world titles followed in 04, 08 and 2012. And then surely the mercurial talent's finest moment came with his fifth and most recent world title at the end of what was in effect an entire season off. He swept all before him for that fifth crown. Arguably the greatest player in history, here's a trip down memory lane as we reflect on Ronnie rampaging his way through the history books.
Ali Carter to break.
Could this possibly be Ali Carter's last break off here at this year's 888.com World Championship? If he comes to the table to break off again, it'll be 17-10. Looks a lot brighter this evening, as if he's almost resigned to the fact that it's over, and all of a sudden he looks relaxed for the first time in the match.
Well, mentally he's exhausted. It's been a tough 17 days, but hasn't he done well? He's created a piece of history, making that second maximum break.
One.
And look at the pace that Ronnie's potted that red with. He made sure he wasn't going to slip past the ball colours.
I tell you what, Dennis, isn't that the difference between the top 3 or 4 players in the world? When they play that shot to nothing, they play it as a shot to something. They very rarely go past the baulk line.
Yeah, it's just the confidence in their long potting, and Ronnie's long potting wasn't very good early on in the tournament, and Ronnie will be absolutely delighted. There's little Ronnie waving away there. He doesn't really know what's going on, but he'll be able to watch it on DVD. And that's his daughter Lily, lovely little girl, who at the UK Championship was walking around on the table when Ronnie was being presented with the trophy.
$11. 12.
That's just finished a little awkward there, because to split the reds you'd have to hit the red behind the bunch and then into the pack. So he's going to play for the single red there.
Just gone a fraction
19.
too high. He's going to have to play the run through and just flick the other red. Got to be careful he doesn't knock it in front of the black. That's why he may not play that shot now. Yeah, he was worried about that, and that's the reason he's played a great shot to bring the pink into play. The red at the bottom of the pack will still pot, so he can. This was an excellent shot. So he can still play for the red at the bottom of the pack and just bring another couple of reds into play. Just keep an eye on the cue ball here. He'll just be running through, bringing 2 or 3 reds into play and still be on the black.
26. 27.
That's fine. Even if he's straight on the black, he'll screw it straight back past where the cue ball is at the moment and out for that red that's closest to the white. Just checking to see if there's anything else available, but he looks pretty straight on the black. Well, it's just off straight there, so he might have to punch it round to leave that one for the middle.
This is the beauty of class players. When they see their winning posts, they never look like missing. Obviously, you can run out of position. I think he's had a bit of a result there.
34.
Maybe not. His hand has just dropped in the air. He's on nothing.
He tried to run it past the red to leave it for the same pocket that he potted the black, and when he cannoned it, it spoiled it. actually. He's trying to slip past that red and leave it for the corner.
Yes, he was so cross there, wasn't he? He felt that was a chance to go on and take frame match championship at that visit.
Yeah, with Hawkeye, we'll show you, he was trying to run round just past the red, and then he would have had a nice easy pot and probably would have gone on to take the frame and match there.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 34.
Well, there's a very interested spectator. Dinner ladies, any of the Victoria Wood stuff, is very, very famous actor Duncan Preston.
Yeah, he loves his snooker and not a bad golfer. Plays off 12 handicap. Plays in a lot of charity events. Variety clubs, Sparks. There's a lot for charity, does Duncan.
Yes, he comes to the Masters at Wembley occasionally. Loves his snooker. A great actor.
What does Ali Carter do here? He's got one red. It's a possible pot, but he's just going to come off the side cushion, nestle in the one near the corner pocket. He really has kept his focus, as I mentioned before, and even with this shot here, he's leading 17-8, 34-0 in front, not taking any risks whatsoever. He's done that throughout the whole championship, and when he's like this, will he takes some beating.
Well, his safety play is as good as anybody's when he really digs deep and tries to do that. You know, Ronnie O'Sullivan has, of course, won this championship on 2 occasions. That's what they're playing for. My friend and colleague Dennis Taylor's on there as well. Ronnie O'Sullivan, can he get the hat-trick? It looks highly likely now.
And of course he had to defeat 2 former world champions in Stephen Hendry and Mark Williams. Mark Williams put up a great fight to stay in the top 16 and just 9-7 at one stage, but Ronnie just dominated the final session.
This is what he's facing. There's no real easy shot to get back. If he plays the red on the cushion, which he is doing, he's going to have to hit it mighty thin to get back into port. That's excellent. If he misses the blue, that's first class. That was a really tough safety shot to play. That's as good a safety as you're likely to see this evening. I think the 4 frames he played, Dennis, against Mark Williams were up there with the 8 he played against Hendry. You know, he was awesome.
Is there a possible plant on? Maybe.
One.
Well, I think that's the longest round of applause I've ever heard for a plant. This Crucible crowd want to see this final continue.
Four.
Yes, even though the black's out of commission, the reds are nicely enough spread around the pink spot that you can win the frame without worrying about the black.
Nine.
That's just a little bit too far for one and not quite far enough for the other to make it an easy pot. Still okay, but
10.
Just lost the cue ball a tad. I think he could just roll it in slowly beyond choice of red. But he's queuing quite low, so he's trying to hold it. Anywhere near the pink will be fine for choice of 3 reds. Well, he's played a cannon the pink full ball, and that's the reason it's gone astray. I think he could have held it without playing the kiss. That was a little bit dangerous.
15.
yeah, he played the full ball kiss, didn't he, Willie, and hit it half ball, but he still got one into the left corner, and he may have to play for the blue now, though. You can find a little gap back to the blue when potting this. A little bit
16.
too hard. But not bad. Took his eye off the pot.
16.
He didn't get on the blue as he intended, and he was concentrating so much
Right, settle
on what
down,
he was
please.
doing with the white ball there.
That's enough now. Thank
Took
you.
his eye off the pot.
Could that be his last shot
1.
at this year's championship? As we've mentioned all this last few days, he has been an absolute star this week. But O'Sullivan has been the master of everybody. He's very close now to being the world champion again.
7. 8.
And there's that asset of being able to play left-handed. He would have needed a spider there if it had been a right-handed player and didn't. Obviously, he's a right-handed player, but if he needed
14.
the rest. And with a spider to play a stun shot would have been very, very difficult. Left-handed made it look very simple.
15.
Quick look at the scoreboard.
21.
39 in front. Just needs the blue.
22.
And he has been so consistent throughout the last 17 days. This Crucible crowd would have loved to have seen this final continue and Ali Carter to have won a couple of frames. But Ronnie O'Sullivan, he has been the master. I think Ali Carter will come forward. He claps his hands and congratulates Ronnie O'Sullivan. Ronnie O'Sullivan really has been superb throughout the 17 days. And this Crucible crowd give him a standing ovation. Ronnie O'Sullivan becomes the 2008 888.com world champion. But well done to Ali Carter as well.
Ronnie O'Sullivan. He becomes the 8th player since 1927 to win this title more than twice, and joins Steve Davis and Stephen Hendry as the only men to claim the crown here at the Crucible 3 times. Well, let's hear from Ronnie and a gallant runner-up, Ali Carter. Ray is ready on the floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, can I ask you please to show your appreciation for both finalists? I wonder if we can grab a few words with Ali Carter first of all. Ali, congratulations. You must be incredibly proud of yourself.
Yeah, pleased obviously to get to the final. Disappointed that didn't perform at my best in the final, but you know, it's very, very tiring. Ronnie made it very difficult. His safety was brilliant, so you know, the better man won on the day, really.
I think you were trying so hard. You were just giving it everything you had.
Yeah, you know, I'm here to try my absolute, you know, nuts off, so to speak, and.
We think you did that.
Yeah, you know, just disappointing to come second, but just like to say thanks to, you know, my mum and dad and all my friends for coming up and supporting us, and Terry and my mate Steve, who was here with me this week. It's been a really good experience.
You had a very difficult situation. You were talking earlier this week about a very difficult situation. You lost both your grandmothers, but they were there. They were on your shoulder, as you were telling us all week.
Yeah, they were, and you know, it's just a shame that I didn't lift the world title for them. But you know, I'll be back next year.
Now, you are a qualified pilot. You've already landed a 147. I don't know if landing a 747 is going to be different later on in your career, but how about landing that 147? Terrific.
Yeah, obviously brilliant to do it, and obviously Ronnie done one as well. So you know, it's great to make a maximum here. There's a lot of pressure, but yeah, it's a great experience.
And your career can take off from here. You've got to a final. You've showed that you can do that.
Yeah, I hope so. You know, top 8 in the world and final of the World Championships, 147. I'd have took that at the start of the 2 weeks. So.
And fair to say, Ali, fair to say your opponent was in decent form.
Yeah, Ronnie was in, you know, great form. He's, you know, he was always going to be the man to beat. You know, he didn't fire on all cylinders, but nor did I. But you know, we tried to, but you know, it's just the way it goes sometimes.
But Ali, our applause goes to you, ladies and gentlemen. Ali Carter. Congratulations. How's the world champion? Can you describe what emotions you're experiencing at the moment, Ronnie?
Well, just happy to have won it. You know, it was tough because you know, we both, like Ali said, we both never really got going, and I got ahead. And you're always thinking in the back of your mind, if I lose it from here, it's going to be a killer. You know, so sometimes it's better if it's closer because you can just get involved in the game. And but when you're trying to sometimes protect a lead, it's hard going. If you're playing well, then you can just cruise on, but I was struggling a bit.
Now you join Stephen Hendry and Steve Davis, 3 times Crucible winners. That's great company, isn't it?
Oh, fantastic company, you know, and now hopefully it's not the last. Hopefully there's a few more to come, but you never know.
Ronnie, what impact does it have on you when people like Steve Davis say that you're ahead of Tiger Woods and Roger Federer?
He's mad. People said I'm mad, but he must be mad.
But surely the way you played, especially in the semi-final against Stephen Hendry, do you feel you've taken your game to a new level during this championship?
No, not really. I've just been a bit more consistent. That's why I've been consistent all season. And, you know, basically I just, you know, each of these matches here, they're long-frame matches, and basically I've done the damage in one session in every match. You know, I was 6-2, 7-1, 8-0. And from then, I was just, you know, if I could contain and stick in there, then, you know, that's why I won it, really. You know, I wasn't playing fantastic every session, but you don't need to win this. You sometimes just have to do it in spells, and that's how I've done it. That was my game plan, really.
And you really enjoy entertaining the crowd here in the Crucible and here around that. 147 was magnificent, and sort of you feed off them and they feed off you, I think.
Yeah, you know, like, I mean, me and Eddie will be disappointed that we couldn't have put on a better performance, but sometimes when you get to the final, it's not all about the performance. It's sometimes the balls go scrappy, and you know, you can struggle with your form a little bit. And out here, when you've got 1,000 people breathing down your neck, it's a tough place to kind of to think it straight sometimes. But you know, that's why we love the pressure, we love the excitement, we love the atmosphere of the Crucible, and I love my family too.
Well, it's absolutely great that they're here. It's great that Joe's here, your mum's here, Ronnie's here, and Lily's here. And
My dad missing. There's only my dad missing, but that's for you, Dad. Love you.
now, how many more? You've got 3. Are you going to move this on now?
Well, listen, I said I'd like to win more, but I've always, it's quite well documented that I've struggled with the game and with myself, and sometimes, this week I was thinking, well, if I win this, wouldn't it be nice to go out and high as world champion? But I'm going to need some time to think over the summer because, number 1 world champion, UK champion, I might, it might be a good time to have a little bit of a break. Who knows, But
no, Ronnie, have a think over the summer.
I will.
Just have a long, hard think over the summer. Everyone here and everyone at home wants you to play snooker. Wouldn't you all agree, everybody?
I like playing, but sometimes, I find it tough, and so, there's nothing better than going out on a high. But you listen, I'll hopefully be back next year. I really do, If not, then, I've had a great time, and I've loved the support that everyone's given me. It's been fantastic.
Ladies and gentlemen, world champion Ronnie O'Sullivan. And ladies and gentlemen, as the great David Vine used to say, payday, but please your applause for the 2 finalists, but also the 32 players that entertained us over this championship. Will you please welcome the presentation party, John Sumroy, the Chief Marketing Officer and Senior Vice President of 888.com, Sir Rodney Walker, the Chairman of World Snooker and the WPBSA, and Robert Kelly, the Sponsors Competition winner, who will present the trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, receiving £78,500 for his 147 break, plus £125,000. And the runner-up medal, Ali Carter. And ladies and gentlemen, receiving £78,500 for his 147 break, plus £250,000 and the 888.com World Championship Trophy, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
The black's only available into 1 corner pocket. Just watch how he plays this. Well, that's a bonus. That definitely was a great pot. But to finish perfect on the blue after catching the red and black was a nice little bonus. There's the length of the pot. Watch the flick. Have to play back to the blue again because of the red next to the black there, blocking the path to the pocket.
7.
played for the red in the middle. Didn't quite get directly
12.
behind it. He'd like to have got on it a little bit straighter than this. Because already in his mind he's thinking top side of the blue, get rid of the red next to the black, and then I can start to think about winning the frame. You can't think about winning the frame just yet
13.
until he gets rid of that red below the black.
And that red will be disappearing now, and the black
18.
will be in the open. And I think there's still one available just at the back of that little bunch of 7.
19.
I'm not quite sure if it's on or whether he has to play a little cannon on the red just to the left there. Yeah, there's one available, which is why he didn't risk the
26.
cannon. He's already 56 ahead.
27.
Well, obviously there must be a plant on here. All these
34.
reds 2 by 2, as it were, all seem to be. Surely there's one of the sets lined up. Yes, the one he's playing now is looks to be a certainty, and it was. And that was just about frame ball, the bluest frame ball. So Ronnie O'Sullivan can be one away from winning this wonderful crown. And amazing enough, Dennis, since you won the championship,
40.
you'll be the oldest player by 40 days since you won it to win this World Championship. Everybody's been younger than your good self.
41.
Yeah, I was 36 when I lifted the World Championship here. And there's been nobody younger, or nobody older, rather, has won it since then.
46.
Well, once again, no century. Ali Carter made the break of 70 in the previous round. Thought we were going to be in front of the comeback. O'Sullivan makes 46 and goes one away from victory at 17-11. Well, Ronnie now knows he's one frame away from victory. It's very interesting, Dennis, right at the beginning of the day when the handshake. Tell us about the handshake, what you noticed. I didn't notice this.
I think maybe Peter Eben had a little chat to him and he says, maybe try and psych Ronnie out. And this was the handshake. Just watch the stare. Look at Ali looking right at Ronnie, and Ronnie doesn't know what's happening there. It hasn't really been Ali's day, but that little trying to psych him out didn't quite work. But it's been a tough day for him. Not a great deal to smile about. He got himself back into it at 14-10, and that's the way he reacted when he finally won a frame.
Yeah, you can feel a little bit sorry for Ali, really. I mean, when you get to 2 finals on the trot, you're very unlucky to play one of the greatest players in the world. I mean, there's other players in the tournament.
Frame 29.
But like Jimmy White, he
O'Sullivan
kept
to
running
break.
into Steve Davis and Stephen Hendry.
So Ronnie O'Sullivan breaks off in what he hopes will be the last frame in this year's Betfred.com World Championship. And Ali Carter, well, he'll just give it his best shot now. He's been refusing this type of shot earlier. It'd be ironic if he knocks this one in. Just a little bit too thick on that occasion. He's played remarkably well throughout this year's World Championship, Ali Carter. He really has. little Ron was sitting next to Ronnie's mum there. That's Maria there. She must be very proud of
7.
what she's watching here, but he still has to win this frame.
$14.
Well, he's reluctant to play on the black here, really, because it's not a great pack to go into from the black. That's why
15.
he's going to try and go into from the pink, probably, to push the red towards the right-hand corner. He's left the angle to do that. But it really does need to be played at pace to get one moving out. And that's what he did, but unfortunately, he's knocked it safe.
I mean, that tournament pot success rate, as we show you the pink, the cannon not working out, 93%. That is going some. And we've got a little bit of noise coming from a microphone.
It's a radio,
somewhere.
Dennis, isn't that something?
Gremlins once again in the Crucible.
Didn't sound like a Kasabian track, did it, that one?
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 21.
Well, Serge is there. Well, Serge is there, and I'll tell you what Ali Carter could do with a little Serge here. Oh, he's caught the brown. Which is okay, but it means that Ronnie's got an easier safety return.
May decide to play this cut, Dennis, the one that's in between the black and the pack. That will cut into the right-hand corner. If he can miss the red that's on the cushion, he'll play it. I don't think he can miss that red, though, so he's changing his mind. Well, still played it, but I didn't think he could miss that red. Very, very fortunate.
Well, I'm just wondering if that red has nudged it out a little bit. It was safe at one stage until the red just nudged it. Can he get through to that one to cut it in the middle? It must be tight. So we had a bit of a result there. Another fraction and he could have potted that. Yeah, it's a long, long way back now, and he's lost a little bit of heart, Ali, but it's not over yet.
Decided the red's a little bit too risky in the middle. Can't really get onto a colour nicely. Just playing the cue ball back into the board, but the white's very close. John Virgo to get that little shout, wouldn't he? Where's the cue ball going?
Just coming up to the 9 hours for the match. The green's in an awkward spot now for the safety return. That's why he's choosing an alternate. Might be able to just get down towards the brown here with this. Could say Ronnie's got the pace of this table, because for I don't know how many times now Ali's glued to that ball cushion.
Yes, the green's the problem ball again here, isn't it? Getting back into ball, the green's just in the way for the natural angle. Oh, he's got round the back of it. But there's a gap. There's a gap for this long red. He may take this one on.
Well, if he does take it on, he'll have to get a little bit of action on, because he's only got two choices, to screw back or run through for the black. So it'll be interesting to see how he plays this. Cued across that one, but once again I think he's got away with it. That red's going to finish safe, and it's also blocked by the yellow.
Ronnie's long game this week has been tremendous, but I can only think that's getting very close to winning the World Championship that's made him miss that one by so far. Ronnie can't quite believe it.
Mind you, I detected the red jumping quite a bit there when we showed that slow-mo. So maybe it was a kick. Let's just have a look at the red as he makes contact with it. Yeah, jumped off the bed of the table there.
Don't think he can get through to the pot here. He's playing the one on the cushion here. He's just swinging it round. Now the red to the right of the pack will pot in the middle. I just wonder whether Ronnie will be tempted with this one. He's had a good look at it. He knows that the path of the cue ball is going very close to the red that's nearest the blue. So it would be on yellow, blue or pink should it go in. It's a risky one.
Oh, it's there. What a shot that is. What a shot that is, by the way. Well, the chance is now there for Ronnie O'Sullivan. There was only just enough room past the red.
Three. Four.
Doesn't appear that the black is available in the right-hand corner. If it is, this could be frame, match and championship over.
9.
If it's not, he'll have to play up for the blue again.
10.
Didn't matter this time which side of the blue he got, because there's a red up to the left of the brown that he can play onto. Two ways of getting on that red as we swing in with this camera angle. Just shows you he's the wrong side of the blue, but he can get on that red near the brown. Beautifully played.
Well, the next two shots are key. Just got to get rid of that red to the right of the black, and that could be Ali Carter watching, and O'Sullivan possible frame, match and championship
16.
clearance.
Well, he's won it on 3 occasions.
21.
This is definitely looking like a fourth. That magnificent World Championship trophy. Ali Carter has got close. He's been in one final, but who was it that beat him in that final? It was Ronnie O'Sullivan, 2008, the year he made a maximum break here, Ali Carter.
He's still undefeated in finals, should have gone to win it, Ronnie. He's been in 3 finals, won them all. This is the 4th.
And he has really kept his focus. That's been the main thing with Ronnie O'Sullivan throughout this year's
29.
championship. 17 days is a long spell. He's had his good friend Damien Hirst with him, and I think he's helped to keep him focused, along with Dr. Steve Peters.
37.
How many more world titles? Well, Ronnie Jr., how many more titles could your dad win, Ronnie, do you think?
$38.
It's been a privilege to watch this year's World Championship, and it's been a privilege to watch Ronnie O'Sullivan the way he's played.
This has been a tremendous championship. Not quite over the winning line yet. One more
45.
red needed to be short.
Yeah, Ali Carter just looking on there. Deserves a lot of credit. That comeback against Trump. But the crowd now realise that it's all over. Peter Ebdon applauding Ronnie, and his man put up a great show, but he wasn't quite good enough
54.
to compete against the most naturally gifted player the game has seen. He gave a little kiss up to Ronnie Jr. there. There's no better feeling in the world than walking around the table when you know
61.
you've won the World Championship. Ali Carter will come forward like the gentleman he is and congratulate Ronnie O'Sullivan. It's going to be emotional here in the Crucible Theatre. What a performance from Ronnie O'Sullivan. 3 times a world champion. It's now 4, and Ronnie O'Sullivan becomes the 2012 Betfred.com world champion. Well done, Ronnie, and well done to Ali Carter.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a final. As Ronnie celebrates, can I please ask you to show your appreciation for our gallant runner-up today, Mr. Ali Carter. Ali, come and talk to us. Well, Ali, 2 finals, twice you've run into the rocket. To paraphrase the great Jimmy White, he must be beginning to annoy you now.
Yeah, maybe if he retires I might win it, who knows.
It's been quite a story, it's been quite a comeback. We've described you as the comeback kid, but at 7 frames to 14 down and looking down and out of it, how did you summon the tenacity to get out of your chair and come and make a fight of this evening?
I don't know really, I just kept punching, and you know, I'm disappointed with how I played in the final really. Ronnie put me under all sorts of pressure. His safety, you know, was matched, mine was better from ball 1. And obviously he scores when he gets in, he's just a genius, so all credit to him. You know, it's great to be in another final, but very disappointing to lose.
You know, in December, when we were at the United Kingdom Championship, you told everyone that you would seriously consider retiring after this event. But since then, you've turned your health and your form around. What are your plans now, Ali?
Well, you know, obviously I've come back to playing half decent again and feeling a lot better in myself. So obviously I'll carry on playing for a bit. But hopefully, if I can keep me health and everything right, then I'll carry on.
Ali, do you believe one day you can come back and win this thing?
Well, I've been to 2 finals, so you know, it takes a lot to be a winner, but yeah, I believe I can win it one day if Ronnie retires.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ali Carter, congratulations. Great to see him back to health and indeed to form. here. Mission accomplished for a 4th time here. How hard won has this title been?
Oh, it's just, it's hard. It's very, very hard. I just got, you know, for anyone to come here and, you know, stand 17 days, it's an endurance test. It's like the equivalent of the Ironman. I don't think it's so much about the snooker, to be honest with you. I think it's more about just controlling your emotions and being able to hold it together. And I was able to do that over 17 days. But, you know, I want to congratulate Ali on a fantastic tournament. He's had another brilliant tournament. He's a top 3-4 player in the world. You know, he hasn't been well, and he's come back to have a brilliant tournament. He showed everyone here at Sheffield and everyone watching what a fantastic player he is. So I just want to, you know, he's had another brilliant World Championship. So, and it's been great here all week with all these fans. You know, I've come here to try and entertain this tournament because I just wanted to show people what I was capable of, and you know, that was my main intention.
You've done that all right. And you know, so much commitment and passion and desire to win this world title, and when we look back at it, even in the last few months, what's changed for you in the last year? And I just wonder how much you owe to Dr. Steve Peters and the work that you've been doing with him.
Well, I wouldn't have been playing if it wasn't for Steve. You know, I wouldn't. I said to him when I first met him, I said, I really don't want you to be able to help me. And he said, that's the normal answer I get when people come to see me. So he said, but you're an easy case. And, you know, I've just stuck in it all year and we've worked together, and it's been a rocky, it's been tough because I've had to face things that I've probably didn't want to face. And once I face them, I think, really don't want to keep facing them. Sometimes you just want to run. But I try to give it a go, and I give it a go this season. And I've managed to win 3, well, I don't know how many comps I've won, but this just tops it all, you know. So a few people doubted me, but I'd rather them not doubt me. I'll let them know when I'm not ready and when I've gone. But I certainly ain't gone yet.
That's great to hear, because that was the next question, really. You said after the semi-final, if you could bottle that winning feeling after winning that semi-final, you'd keep playing for 300 years. So what is the plan now? How many more world titles could you target, Ronnie?
I'm not going to put a number on it. I'm not even going to make any decisions at the moment. You know, I'm having a good 6 months off. I'm going to enjoy my time with this little man here, my little daughter, and I'm going to have a nice, good break, and I'll assess the situation. But it's all good. So, you know, everything's, well, you know, we just enjoy the moment.
Special to share it with Ronnie Jr. Did you hear him? He shouted, "Come on the rocket," a couple of times.
I know, I could hear him whispering, and then he said, "Come on, Dad," and I was like, oh, you know.
Fantastic, well done, Ronnie.
Ain't the time to get emotional, you know, but, you know, it just, when I see him this morning, I just thought, you know what, it just puts everything in, you know, the pressure lifted, because, you know, just to see him, you know, was just the best thing.
Ronnie and Ronnie Jr., it's been wonderful to see you both here on this arena floor. Congratulations, well done, Ronnie. Your champion, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your presentation party. Barry Herman, the chairman of World Snooker, and Fred Doan, boss of Betfred. Your runner-up, what a 17 days he's had. What a brilliant end to a tough season. Ladies and gentlemen, your appreciation for Ali Carter. And the winner, receiving the trophy, the cheque for £250,000, and the title, 2012 Betfred.com World Snooker Champion, the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan. Your champion, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Thank you, Hazel. Barry Hawkins breaks off. what he hopes is not his last frame. Can he produce the snooker that he did at the start of this evening? Breaks of 127 and 66. If you've done it once, Barry, you can do it again. He really did look good, John. I was watching that, and he never looked like missing, Barry.
Unbelievable. I think it's the best in the first frame when he made that marvellous 127. It's the best he cued in this match. Just had a bit of a setback when he missed a red along the cushion, but you could have seen him winning all the 4 frames before the mid-session interval, and then we would have had a titanic struggle. But that's what happened. You miss, and you leave Ronnie O'Sullivan in amongst the balls. And he's just a magician. But you just get the feeling that Barry still believes.
Already going to be a little bit of an awkward frame with the red up the other side of the table. So behind the black is now the safety area. Not quite. Barry can play a better one than Ronnie. Can he judge it? This looks good. Just a bit too far, but still got it tight on the cushion. You can't get back with the white tucked up there.
At the moment, Barry in control of this little safety exchange, but with the red so tightly packed, it's hard to force your opponent into a mistake. But the target will be try and get that cue ball in tight behind the black again.
Oh, what's he done here? That was a little bit careless. Has he got enough angle to give himself a possible chance at the black? Might be able to come off the other red and get a bit closer to the black. No, it was a very difficult situation. He couldn't really play it any harder, striking over that red, and he just couldn't get. But he can roll tight up behind the black off the cushion. Oh, that's a little careless. There's a shot for the middle now for Ronnie.
It's 1.
He's not taking it. Good pot, but he was concentrating on the safety there. But that was interesting to see. He's not taking any chances, Ronnie. Looked like he could roll the other red to the middle, but he wants to wait for a better chance.
Yes, it was a good pot, but by the looks of it, doesn't look as though he snookered Barry, which is a little bit careless. So Barry may be able to get his cue ball back behind the black. And the reds are spread now. Purposely tried to play it into the green, but he didn't hit the green full enough. Well, He's left a red to the far left corner, but he could have left something easier.
One.
A round of applause from Ronnie Jr. He's just overscrewed that slightly, but it's a little cutback. And it's there. How's the cannon? It's not bad. He's got the one to the middle pocket. If he can't see this one to the left corner, well, if he can see the one to the left corner, Barry knows that this is a great chance for Ronnie.
9.
I know there's a long way to go, but great champions usually finish in style.
16. 17.
You know, John, when you speak at dinners and that, and I usually do a little thing, who's the 3 greatest players that's ever played the game of snooker?
22.
And 2 of them are sitting in the studio. And since 1990,
23.
I said Stephen Hendry overtook the great Steve Davis as the greatest player that ever played. And I had Ronnie at number 3. But if he goes on to win this year's World Championship, I'd have to put him at the top of the list and say that he is the
28.
greatest player that's ever picked a cue up. My personal opinion.
Yeah, and I think the other 2 players you've mentioned will agree with
29.
you. The most natural talent the game has ever seen, there's no doubt. Somebody said to me the other day that if Ronnie wins the World Championship, what does that say about the other players? I said, well, all they can
36.
do is just say that they played in an era of greatness.
37.
And that's Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Well, he's the defending champion. He's won it on 4 occasions. It's looking good for a 5th at the
44.
moment, but he has a few more to pot yet. But it has to be said, Barry
45.
Hawkins in this final has been superb. He really has put up a fantastic display. And if he had been up against any other player, he could quite easily have been in front, John.
He's played absolutely marvellous, and I think really this will have done Barry the world of good. I know he'd be disappointed if he was to lose, but boy, has he proved to everybody who loves snooker that he is going to be a major contender in many, many World Championships.
50.
He's a great match player, and he's proved that he's got a great temperament. Ronnie just having a quick look at the scoreboard. 50 points, the lead, 75 remaining. So just needs 3 of these remaining reds to be sure.
I'm sure Ronnie will say that Dr. Steve Peters has been a big help to him throughout this year's World Championship. He really has Ronnie in a very positive frame of mind. He's got him mentally in a very happy place, and that's the gentleman
54.
sitting there on the right, leaning on his knees.
55.
Ronnie does go and stay with him. He's got a room in his house that Ronnie can use. And this has been absolutely fantastic. Ronnie Jr., well, they're all very pleased.
And as you say, Dennis, like the true champion, he's finishing in style. We love the way he plays. And there's the little fist pump. Well done, Ronnie.
68.
And the thing to remember is that we love
69.
watching him play. And let's hope that this could just give him that urge to carry on.
Yeah, we don't want to hear Ronnie saying he's going to retire. The game needs Ronnie O'Sullivan, and it's very rarely you see that from
75.
the Rocket, but he must be
76.
feeling so good inside. But once again, Barry Hawkins has played his part in this year's World Championship. But this man has done something very, very special here this year. And listen to the crowd.
84.
If he could get a century, it would be a record. It's not going to be a century, but what a fantastic defence of his World Championship. A lot of people didn't think Ronnie O'Sullivan could do it. And Barry Hawkins coming along and congratulates him. What a smashing final we've had. Fair play to both players, but you're looking at a genius there. Ronnie O'Sullivan is the 2013 World Snooker Champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, your appreciation, please, for both of our finalists this year. A marvellous, marvellous win for Ronnie and a wonderful achievement for Barry Hawkins. Barry, come and have a chat with me. Well, the O'Sullivan family in raptures here. They're enjoying it. That's another one for the family album, isn't it? Barry, I know your family's been here too, and I know that they and we all have appreciated what you've done. You have more than justified yourself in this amazing run. What has made it so difficult to face this man over the past couple of days?
Everything. I tried my hardest, you know, and I've just made a few more mistakes than Ronnie did, and you can't afford to do that against him, because I think he's just unbelievable, to be honest. And the way he makes it look so easy is just frightening for most players, and I'm just pleased the way I made some sort of game of it, you know, and pushed him a little bit. So
I think everyone appreciates that, Barry. Barry, you won the first event of the season. You're runner-up in the last event. Absolutely no trace of burnout from you. How have you done it?
I don't know. Just kept trying hard. I'm sure I'll collapse after tonight, I think, but it's been so hard the last couple of weeks. Come through. Cheers, mate. I love you too. Yeah, it's been so hard the last couple of weeks. Come through so many tough matches, but yeah, I'm obviously delighted to get to the final. But once you're here, you want to try and win it and kind of come up against a tougher opponent.
Tell us about this experience. The whole family's here. Your little mate, your son Harrison's enjoyed it as well. How special for them? How valuable an experience has this been to you and the whole family, Barry?
Of course it has. I mean, it's everybody's dream, you know, to see me play in the world final, and it's most players' dream. But hopefully, I've got a few more years left. Hopefully, I can come back and win it one day. But it's a proud moment for everybody. But shame I lost. But Ronnie's by far the best player in the world, so there's no shame in that at all, really.
Ladies and gentlemen, only 25 men have graced a Crucible final, and this is one of them. They can never take that away from you. Well played, Barry. Well, this is like deja vu, Ronnie. I tell you what, you've done some special things in your time, but this surely has got to top the lot. How have you done it, Ronnie?
I just want to congratulate Barry on a brilliant tournament, brilliant season, and that's the hardest anyone's pushed me, and I felt I was playing okay, so I just couldn't get rid of him. You know, he was just on me, and he was making it look so easy, and I just thought, oh no. But I just hung in there, and you know, it was a brilliant final, and you know, it's just good to be part of it. I didn't know what to expect to be, really. I didn't come here with any. My main motive wasn't to come here and win. It was just I was so kind of bored, sitting on the sidelines, nothing going on, and I just thought, you know, I could do with something to just keep me busy for the next 6 weeks preparing for the World. That's my honest thing. And then obviously coming here, I like Sheffield, I love the tournament, I love being at the Crucible, and so, you know, it's filled a good nice gap of 8 weeks, and I've got to keep busy now, haven't I? Otherwise, I'll, you know, could implode. But no, listen, it's been great, you know, just to get something back in my life.
Well, I don't know whether we should say, is it a date, same place, same time next year, or will we see you a couple of times in between?
You know, listen, I've had a great time. I've enjoyed every moment, you know, and I love playing. So I'm definitely going to be playing in some smaller events, because to me that's just pure snooker here. There's a lot going on, you know, and it's hard, you know. But I just love playing, so I'll definitely be playing in some smaller events, and we'll just see what goes on, you know. But you know, we'll see.
But Sarah Beanie's job in property development is safe for now. You're not going to be going into that. It's still snooker that lights your fire, yeah?
Well, I don't want it to be honest with you. I want to kind of balance it with doing other stuff. I realised that the year out I didn't really miss snooker. I just miss having something to do. So if I can balance it with other things, then that's the way forward for me. Because you know, you feel trapped sometimes when it's just snooker, and you know, I'm not good at dealing with all the emotions that comes with it. So sometimes I need something on the side just to chill me out a bit.
This is quite a wonderful achievement. It's not just a great achievement in snooker, it's a great achievement in any sport, any place, any time. Your champion, once again for a 5th time, the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your presentation party, Barry Orr, the head of public relations at Betfair, and Barry Hearn, the chairman of World Snooker. Ladies and gentlemen, your runner-up, receiving a cheque for £125,000 and the silver medal. What a fabulous fortnight it's been for Barry Hawkins. And the winner, receiving a cheque for £250,000, the trophy and the title, 2013 Betfair World Snooker Champion, the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan. Ladies and gentlemen, your champion, Ronnie O'Sullivan.